What's my name? Matthew. Hey everybody, can you see me over here on the side of the screen? Yes, I am holding up an image of the cover of Ringo's Ringo Starr brand new album called What's My Name, released today, October 25th, 2019. Yes, folks, this is the poor man's version of doing a mini review or first impressions, if you want to call it that, of Ringo's new album, okay? Just a lousy piece of paper. And I'll tell you about that in a minute and why I'm going so cheap here on you. All right, the reason I'm doing this is because I've listened to the album a couple of times now, and I'll tell you how I've done that in a minute. This is Ringo's 20th, can you believe it, folks? 20th studio album for this gentleman. God bless Ringo. 79 years old, going to be 80 next year, and he's just released a brand new album. I hope you're all going to check it out and get it. I'm very excited about it, and very excited to talk about it with you today and do a little kind of mini review of it with you, or for you, I should say. Ringo recorded this album in LA at his home studio. I guess he likes to do that lately. He loves working in his home studio. I read an interview with him where he said he feels more comfortable there, more creative, and he's able to have more output. So that's what he's been doing. And this album, it again just came out at midnight early this morning, and that's how I was able to listen to it a couple of times, folks, is I have the Spotify streaming service. So as soon as it's released on the day of release, right after midnight, you get it on Spotify. Now, unfortunately, I did not receive my hard copies yet. I don't believe in just streaming music. I'm one of these people that believes in hard copies and buying physical media and supporting the artist out there and their music by buying an actual album or a CD or a tape or whatever you want to buy. So I believe in that. But I also believe in having the ability to sample music, to stream it so I can listen to it in the car or have it stored on my phone and all that good stuff. So I always get a physical copy of the album, which I've done with Ringo, and it was supposed to be here today, and I got it through Ringo's site, and the U.S. Postal Service was supposed to deliver it, and lo and behold, it didn't come. All I'm left with is a printed copy of the album cover. But I can show you this. Here are the different formats it is going to be coming in. Here's the album cover itself. The top one, you're able to get it in a nice blue vinyl. And right below that, you'll see the black vinyl. You can get standard black vinyl, and the CD is just below. Now, I ordered the CD and the blue vinyl. Yes, I do want to show you the blue vinyl when it comes in. And I was hoping to be able to do that now, but unfortunately, can't do it. So, but I don't want to wait too many more days to do, just to show you the blue vinyl and live on camera. So I said, let me do my quick mini review, or my first impressions, whatever you want to call it, of this album. And that way, you can get kind of an idea where I'm coming from. Now, this album, again, has a lot of great people on it. We all know Paul is on the Grow Old With Me version, the cover of Grow Old With Me, John's song. Paul's playing bass, and he's doing some background vocals on that. You also have people like Warren Ham on this album, Richard Page, Joe Walsh, Ben Tench from the Heartbreakers, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Edgar Winter is on this album. Steve Lukather is on this album. Again, I don't have all the credits in front of me, so I can't. There might be other people I'm missing, and I apologize for that. Ringo's had some help with songwriting. His name is on most of the songs, along with co-writers like Colin Hay from Men at Work, Sam Hollander co-wrote a song, Steve Lukather co-wrote a song, and yes, even his brother-in-law, Joe Walsh, co-wrote a song, and I'll be talking about that in a minute. So there's 10 songs on the album. It's a little over 34 minutes long. I don't think it's quite 35 minutes. So it's not the longest album in the world, but I gave it a couple of spins, and I'm going to go through my notes real quick on the 10 songs and my first impressions of them. And at some point, I'll perhaps do a more full, more in-depth review and be able to show the blue vinyl and whatnot to you. But I just wanted to get this out there to you. It's a day to celebrate. Whenever you have a new release from the Beatles or one of the solo Beatles, it's always a day to be happy and rejoice. Because let's face it, folks, we're living in a time where it's wonderful to be a Beatles fan. between the remix releases that have been coming out every year, and now this singles box set is coming out, and there's always chance of Paul's archive series getting some new releases, and we have Let It Be coming next year, hopefully remix, and the movie's been redone and everything. And so to get a new solo album from Ringo is just a happy, happy time, and I'm happy to talk about it with you a little bit. So let me put that down for a minute while we get into the nuts and bolts of this thing a little bit. 10 songs. The first song is called Gotta Get Up to Get Down. It's a very upbeat, kind of funky groove to it song. There's some really funky guitars in it. There's a nice keyboard solo in it. And a little thing that kind of caught me off guard at first was when I first heard it, there is a little bit of light, I'll say, quote, light rapping in it, if that makes sense. Yes, there's a little bit of a rap going on here and there in the song. I'm not sure who's doing the rapping, the light rapping, I should say. But there is some in there. And it doesn't detract too much from the song. I believe Ringo co-wrote this song with his brother-in-law, Joe Walsh. And it's not a bad song, folks. That was my first impression of it. It's okay. It's a good little funky rock song. Little light rapping in it. It's okay. I liked it. Okay? Now the next one is called It's Not Love That You Want. That was, again, another upbeat. You'll find with this album there's a lot of upbeat songs out of the 10. There's only like maybe, Grow Old With Me and maybe one other that's kind of a little lower key. Most of them are upbeat. And It's Not Love That You Want is very upbeat. It's a very good pop song. Nothing earth-shattering about it. It's not like, wow, that's the greatest, pop song I ever heard. But it's a fun song. There's a little little piano groove going in there throughout the song. I like the guitar lick that runs throughout the song. I won't say it's quite power pop, but close to it. It's a good little pop, almost power pop song. All right, and at the end I'll tell you the highlighted songs for me, the ones that have really jumped out at me that I like the most thus far. The third song is Grow Old With Me, which is the cover of John Lennon's great song, which was one of the final songs he ever wrote and performed in a demo form. There's been many, many cover versions of this song. I will say this about Ringo's, it's a very nice version, a very pleasant version. He did a good job covering John's song. This is the one that has Paul on bass and Paul on background vocals. Now, Paul's background vocals during the bridge part of the song, I wish were brought up a little more. You can hardly hear Paul. He's there. Now that I've really gotten into it with some headphones, he is there. You can make him out, but I wish they brought his vocal up a little more when he jumps in on the song. It's not my favorite cover of this song. There's so many versions of this song that I've heard, and there's a couple that I really love. Glenn Campbell does an outstanding cover of this song, which is more of a power poppy, upbeat version. But my favorite version of all time of Grow Old With Me, other than John's version, obviously, because I love John's simple demo of it, is the one by Mary Chapin Carpenter. Folks, if you can look up that version and give it a whirl and listen, I think you'll really love the version of Grow Old With Me by Mary Chapin Carpenter. She does a great job. Check it out. But Ringo does a nice job. I will give kudos to Ringo's version. He does a very, very emotional and nice job on it, and he sings it very well. The next song is called Magic, which I believe Ringo wrote with Steve Lukather. It's, again, an upbeat pop song. Nothing that really stands out about it. It's okay. It's pleasant. I thought the guitar was very good in it. It's a good pop song. That's all I'll say about Magic. The next one is the one I give 2 thumbs down. I don't like it. I've listened to, again, this album a couple of times now, and the cover of Money, it just stinks, folks. I'm sorry. I don't like it at all. I don't like the style they tried to do it in. I don't like the mix of it. I don't like the vocal effect, which they did intentionally, I'm sure, on Ringo's vocal, but it's drenched in auto-tune, and I know it was done purposely to maybe sound more modern or whatever, but it just doesn't come off good for me. It's not a good version. The background vocals are silly. These background girl singers going, "Hey, money, that's what I want." It's lousy. 2 thumbs down on Money. Okay, so I guess technically that would be the end of side 1. It's the 5th song. Now the 6th song number 6, is called Better Days. I believe it was written by Ringo by himself. Again, a very upbeat rock pop song. Not that that's a bad thing. I like this song. I really like the melody of Better Days. I'm sorry, I've jumped to the next one. Better Days. Good upbeat rock song, pop song. It was okay. I thought the guitar was okay. It has a peace and love theme to it, which, again, with Ringo, that's his mantra. I believe in it too myself, peace and love. I'm all for it. But I think sometimes Ringo, it's a little much with the peace and love stuff. You know, he can kind of talk about some other topics a little bit, I think. But I'm not complaining about the song. Better Days is a good song. It's okay. I liked it. Now the next one, song number 7, I want to make sure I have my songs right. I got the song list up in front of me, is called Life is Good. This might be my favorite song on the album. Again, just listening a couple of times. Life is Good is an upbeat, kind of a power pop rock song. Very solid. I like the melody right away. I like the guitar solo right away. I really like this one a lot. Life is Good kind of reminds me of a song that could have been on Time Takes Time. So if you know Time Takes Time, and you know that's one of my favorite Ringo albums, Life is Good, I think, could have fit right on Time Takes Time. It's that good in my book. And as I say, right now, it's probably my favorite on the entire album. The next song is called Thank God for Music, written with Sam Hollander. It's, again, another upbeat pop rock song. There's a nice keyboard groove to this song, very nice melody. I liked it. The solo is a nice organ solo, very good. And it's, again, though, you know, with Ringo, with the peace and love theme all on every one of his albums, on many of his albums, Ringo always has to put that big autobiographical Ringo song on there. You know, he's talking about his life and stuff. You know, Rory and the Hurricanes, and you know, all the, and, you know, songs like that. Well, this is one of those songs. It's kind of a Ringo, "This Is My Life" kind of song, but it's a good song. Thank God for Music. I liked it. It was okay. The next one, song number 9, is Send Love, Spread Peace. Do I have to tell you what that one's about? You know, spread some love, spread the peace, and send some, whatever it is. Send love, spread peace. Thank you, Ringo. We didn't know. Now we know. But, you know, I'm picking on Ringo a little bit with this peace and love stuff. But it's another peace and love song from Ringo. It's a slower pop tune. Other than Grow Old With Me, I'd say it's the more subdued song on the album. Very pleasant, you know, nice melody to it. I like the guitar solo in it. That was very good. I like the guitar solo. And it's a good, again, a nice, pleasant pop song. Thank you. What else can you say about some of these songs? The last song, What's My Name? The 10th song written by Colin Hay. A very upbeat rocker. We've all heard this song. It was one of the first songs released from the album. Great guitar work on this song. I love this. Even some slide guitar on it. Nice slide guitar. It's a very bluesy kind of rocker, a little harmonica in it. I really liked it a lot. I think the premise is a little bit silly. You know, what's my name? Ringo. You know, it's a little bit silly, but it doesn't detract from me enjoying the song or liking it. I really enjoyed the guitar in it. And good song. Good. One of my favorites from the album, and I'll talk about some of my highlights in a second here now that we're to this point of the album. Overall, folks, it's a good pop rock album. Okay? Again, first impressions. I have to really get into it more to maybe do a full review. So maybe when I get my blue vinyl in, which I only can show you the paper right now, but once I get the blue vinyl in and the CD, maybe by then I'll have really taken this album in a lot and I'll do a more in-depth review of what I think of it. But for right now, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying this is a good pop rock album. Okay, take it for what it's worth. Ringo's drums are good throughout. I have no complaints about Ringo's drumming. Again, I don't have the credits in front of me, just having this piece of paper. But I assume Ringo plays drums on all the tracks, and I think he does a darn good job of the drumming on this album. Now, some of the highlights on this album for me are, I'll go down the list. I like What's My Name, all right? I put a star by that one. I like that song. I definitely put a star by Grow Old With Me. One of my highlights from the album I really liked on the first couple of listens. I also have a star on that first song, Gotta Get Up to Get Down. I put a star by it, folks, because Yeah, it's a kind of funky song, funky groove, a little bit of rapping in it, light rapping, I like to say. But you know what? It struck me. It hit me. I liked it. So I'll give that one a star. And even the second song, I'll give a star to. How's that? It's called It's Not Love That You Want. I liked it. But my favorite on the album, my final highlight I want to mention of this album for me is Life is Good. A+, Ringo. I love that song. Life is Good is probably my favorite song on the album. I love it, along with those other ones I highlighted. And I'll have to listen to it more to see how I get into the other, four or so songs that I didn't really give a star to yet. Money, I can tell you right now, is never going to get a star. I just don't like that song. I don't like the version of it. Okay, folks, that's it. I didn't want this to be too long, but I just want to give you my first impressions of What's My Name by Ringo. You know what? So far, so good. It's a good little pop album and some great little highlights on it. So let me know what you think if you've listened to it, and let's see where we go from here. Thank you, Ringo. Bless you all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.